Hi guys, it's Billy from Discovery. Today we are going to learn about how to run financial statements in Nacrius. The first thing we need to do is navigate to the Run Financial Statements Springboard tile. If you do not see this Springboard tile, it's probably because you're not authorized to the NGV. You need to make sure you're authorized to both the NGV and the functions if you want to be able to run financial statements. So make sure you do that before you proceed. I'm going to click this tile. This is going to open up our Manage Financial Statement Requests NGV. So these are all of the statements that have been run out previously. I will talk about the NGV in a bit. I want to start by first going right into how we request our financial statements. So you're going to go to Request Financial Statements, this button right here in the top left. That is going to open up an NTA. So there's just a couple of things we need in order to run our financial statements. The first thing is the statement itself. This is a drop-down menu. It has all of the statements that are available to you. If you were coming from Legacy into BAT, this will have all the statements from the old Legacy part of the system. If you were new to Discovery, you would have given us your financial statements and we would have created them for you and they would show up in here. So those will be available. A note to those coming from Legacy, if you had created a financial statement that was all encompassing and you ran it by going in, picking one branch and then hitting print and doing that for all of your different branches, you'll notice there is no branch option here, so that's not possible. The way we're going to get around that is by creating statements for each individual branch and running them out then that way. So I'm going to pick profit and loss for my example. The next thing we have is the accounting period. So this is our available accounting periods. It's a drop-down menu. I'm going to go with April 19th. You'll notice it automatically fills out the next one, which is period and date. That's coming from your fiscal structure that you have set up, so you don't have to fill that out or worry about it. The next thing is our RC financial report format. So this is a drop-down menu as well. Everybody's going to have this one, the PRD 99991 one. That is our blank, all-encompassing template that everyone will use. If you are somebody that has asked for a little bit of customization or a logo or something, you might have other formats available to you. So the only difference between these two is this one has a little logo on it. So I'll use that one and show you where that goes. So you might have more than one option in here and you'll pick whatever one is applicable. The next one is delivery method. So it's either preview, so it works just like our RC or Reporting Central preview. It's just displayed on the screen and then you exit out of it and it goes away. No record is kept in the NGV of the preview ones. They're just if you're in the middle of the month end and you want the numbers, but you don't actually need the report yet, you just want to take a peek, that you can use preview. The other one is PDF, so it runs it out and it kicks off a PDF that you could save, send, whatever you need to do. So I'm going to go with preview. I've already run out the PDF so we can take a look at both. The next thing is report notes. So this is a column where you can put some notes in about why you've run this out or if there's anything you need everyone to know. It's up to 30 characters. It's this fourth column in the NGV. So if you need to get word out to everyone or you even remind yourself of something, you can put something in there. The next thing we have is our month-end financial statement, and it's always going to default to on. I'm going to untick it. You'll notice when I unticked it, it filled in an expiration date here. So let's talk about that. In Nacrius, we only forever save our official blue ticked on month-end financial statement. All of the other ones that you've run out for that accounting period that are not the official month-end financial statement are eventually going to get deleted. So once we get to the expiration date, it's automatically going to be removed from the system. So this saves you the time of having to wade through all of the like 20 reports you ran out before you got to your official, everything is closed and this is my official statement that's backing up my numbers. Before you get to that one, all of those ones that led up to that are going to eventually expire and be deleted. So you're not going to have to wade through them. You're only going to have to see the official month-end one. So we're saving you that time. If for whatever reason you want the copy of the old ones, you could always run them out in PDF and save them on a file in your computer or something. But from Discovery's perspective, we are only going to be saving the month-end financial statements. So you would just tick this on and to let everyone know that this is the official month-end one. Everything's been closed. This is the one I need to keep and save forever. If you're in the process of still doing your month end and this isn't the official one, you'll just untick this and it'll put in an expiration date. The expiration date is 60 days, I think, from today. It can go up to 90. If you try to go past 90, it gives you an error. So it can go up to 60 or up to 90 days on that expiration date. You also can't do preview and month end at the same time. If I tried to complete this now, I would get an error because previews don't get saved. So there's no way to have a preview and a month end at the same time. So you're never going to accidentally do that and lose your month end or anything. It won't let you do that. So I'm going to untick this because this is not a month end. I'm going to leave the expiration date. Once you get this all filled out the way you want, you're just going to go complete create. And then yes. So what it's doing now is it's opening up a tab on my computer. It might open up a window on yours, depending on how your settings are. All of our financial statements are now run out of Reporting Central. So that's what's happening. It will do this whether you're doing it in preview mode or PDF. Okay, so once it's done thinking, it displays our financial statement we requested. So I requested this in preview mode, so it's just exactly like a normal preview mode RC report. And you'll notice there's this logo here, so that was the difference. If I pick just the regular PRD 999 version of the format, this would not be here, it would just be blank. So this is the preview version of it, and I'm going to click down here, and here is the PDF. So identical, it's also got its little logo there. The big advantage of the BAT versus legacy for us is the ability to drill into the information. So on here, you can see there are lots of hyperlinks. So if I click this, it's gonna go in and open up a tab. So it opens up a tab of all of the records that make up that $2,240 that was on our financial statement. So when we're in here, we can see the service order, we can see the amount, we can see when it happened, we can see the customer, we can see the GL account it got hit. So this provides us tons of information about what makes up that part of our financial statements. And we can actually drill into this even further. So when you're in one of these, anytime you see a blue column, you're going to know it's you can drill into it. So I'm going to double click on whatever service order I need information on. In this case, there's just one service order to make it super simple, but obviously there would be lots and you would just pick whatever service orders you want to drill into. So this takes us to our work with service order transactions. So this actually is the transactions that make up the entry here. So we can see it was actually a handful of labor that made up the $2,240 on our financial statements. So we just went from our financial statement, our profit and loss, and drilled right into to look at the actual transactions on a specific service order to see what was being made up of that $2,240. So that's a huge advantage. There's no longer having to search for things and try and figure out what makes up these numbers. You can literally drill into it and see it right from the financial statement itself. So this is going to save people tons of time. Stakeholders can immediately drill into these numbers and see what's going on. Nobody has to rush around providing the details behind it because you can click from the financial statement right into the details of it. So that was an example of a field service one. If you wanted to just look at expenses, if we go down here, if we're thinking, you know, what makes up this $847 of advertising? What makes up that $847 in advertising is this invoice, which had all these distributions, and it all went to this supplier and these GL accounts. So we immediately go in, we can see the supplier, we can see the AP invoice, we can see the GL accounts. So right from our profit and loss, we're able to drill in and see what makes up these numbers. So it's a huge benefit compared to the way it was. So if you wanted to send this to a stakeholder, to the bank or somebody, it's perfectly fine. If somebody who's not part of your company clicks on this, they're going to get taken to the Nacreous login page and asked to log in, but they don't have a user ID and password, so they're not going to get anywhere. So it gives you the ability to drill into these as a user and find out more information, but it's perfectly safe to send this out to other people, stakeholders, the bank, that sort of thing, because they're not going to be able to drill in and see what makes up these numbers. That's just for you to know. And it works the exact same way with the profit and loss preview. So these are all also hyperlinked. It would work the same way. So if I want to drill in and figure out what makes this up, I can go ahead and click it and it opens it up the exact same way. So they work the exact same. They're just displayed in two different ways for you. So if we take a look at the NGV, when we're in here, we can see what statement was run, what accounting period it was run for, the period end date, the notes if you've put any on it. We have the date the report was run, the time it was run, and who did the running right here. These ones are important, so we have set to expire, so you can immediately come in and see which ones are set to expire. You could create a view that showed you, so if you're worried about something deleting that you didn't save yet, you could do it that way. There's also the expiry date here, so you can manage it based on your expiry date. If you scroll farther to the right, there's things that you would see when you normally set up your statement. So print zero balance rows, what format you use, that sort of thing. If you come into the NGV and you're wanting to print off an old version of your statement, all you do is hit the Documents button, and that is going to open up our green paper clips here, and you can pick whichever one you need, download it, and off you go. You have a copy of it. So there it is there. So that's how you get the old copies once they've run out. You can just come in here and they're just attached, much like they are in Legacy on some views. And that is it. That is how you run out financial statements in Nacreus. Thank you for your time today. And if you have further questions or need some help, you can contact Discovery's implementers using the above email address.